Okay, quick update and a little bit of a disaster. So I sprayed the black anti-dazzle panel, which came out very well, but that happened. Now the tape that I used was pretty low tech. When I peeled that section off, there was almost no force. It was not gripping very well. So I had masked this whole area like that, and only that came off. But what that means is that I now don't know the strength of the adhesion of this paint to the plastic at all. That particular part just came off so easily. And that means that I can't mask anything more on this plane. There were still tips to do and the possible stripes at the edges. I mean, I can try it and it could end up in a disaster, end up with peeling bits everywhere. So I don't know if that's a localized little spot that had something weird about it and it didn't grip very well, the paint, or if this means that this blue Revell paint onto a gloss plastic is not adhering. So I either take the chance and end up with a ruined paint job, or I try and touch that little spot up, don't do any more masking, and just put the decals on, which is probably what I'm going to do. I don't have energy to remask and repaint this whole thing if it starts going wrong. At the risk of it not looking as good as it could have looked with extra stripes and things like that. Okay, so from a practical point of view, how could this have been avoided? Point number one, spray this gloss blue onto some gloss plastic, some scrap plastic, and do scratch testing and peel testing and so on, and tape testing, which I've never been in the habit of doing, but this has made me mildly panic now, because it does mean that you can end up with an entirely great paint job and almost a perfect aeroplane, and then it just gets absolutely ruined in the last steps. And option number two is, sorry to say, despite my previous statements about being able to get away without using a primer, I'm going to have to always use primer. And that means you won't get as high a gloss, because the whole point of a primer is that it's to some degree a satin. So spraying a gloss over a satin, you can get a good result, but not as good as gloss over gloss, being the gloss over the plastic. So that's very unfortunate. And I just don't know if that was how would that have been a problem area? I don't quite understand. So I have to be tilted towards thinking this blue paint didn't grip very well to the plastic at all, and that doing more masking would in fact possibly trash the aeroplane. Now, touching up that little spot, I don't really know. There are decals which can go over there and partially cover that, but I think I do need a blue. Spraying, I don't think trying to spray over that is a good idea. Hand painting over there is going to be visible, but it might be the only option left. So that's very, very unfortunate. My heart just dropped when I pulled the tape off very gently and paint was on the tape. Nice that the black anti-dazzle panel came out very nicely, but I should say it's beneficial that this happened with only that small section, because if I'd started taping large sections on the wings for the stripes, it may have been beyond recoverable, like a little small area like this. So I don't know, that's really a nuisance. I don't know. I've used a lot of Humbrolls. It's not impossible that Humbrol could do this too, but I haven't used enough Revell to know. And a gloss paint peeling off a gloss surface is quite an understandable thing. So, yep, it's going to have to be base coats, primer coats. And we'll see how I handle that fix. Very unfortunate. So the lesson for today is do spray your paint onto a equivalent surface and test the results if it's an important project. And secondly, it's probably safer to use primer coats than not use primer coats when gloss paints are involved. Okay, till next time.